For problem number 1, we had x to the negative second, y to the negative fourth, x to the fourth, y to the second. So there are two ways we could have gone about solving this. First, we could have recognized that we had some negative exponents there and we had to get rid of them. So this would have led us to x to the fourth times y to the second. Those positive exponents stay there. X to the negative second gets moved to the bottom along with y to the fourth. So now that we're here, we're looking at our x's. So x to the fourth over x to the second. We are dividing them, so that means we subtract the exponents. So 4 minus 2, that is going to become x to the positive second, and that's going in my numerator or on top of my fraction because 4 is bigger than 2. Next, I look to my y's. Y to the second over y to the fourth. Well, I'm subtracting 4 minus 2, again, because I'm doing the bigger exponent minus the smaller exponent. However, that is going to the bottom because 4 is bigger than 2. So my final answer for number 1 is x squared y over y to the second. Now, I'm going to show you another way we could have done this. So instead of moving the negative exponents first, we could have just combined x to the negative fourth with x times x to the positive fourth. So x to the negative second times x to the fourth times y to the negative fourth times y to the positive second. So here, x, whenever you multiply exponents, you add them together. So negative 2 plus 1, or negative 2 plus 4, negative 2 plus 4 there is becoming x to the positive second. Now, y to the negative fourth times y to the second, that is becoming y to the negative second. Negative 4 plus 2 there. Negative 4 plus 2 gives us negative 2. Now, we just move this negative exponent of y squared to the bottom, and we end up with x squared over y squared, which is the exact same thing as that. So let's take a look now at number 2. So problem number 2, we have 27 x to the fifth, y to the negative second, all over 3 squared times x, y to the fourth. So first thing I want to do here is, that 3 squared, that's going to become a 9. 27 stays up top. I have x to the fifth, x, y to the fourth. And also, this negative exponent, I'm going to move that to my denominator. So y to the negative second up top becomes y to the positive second in the bottom. So now, I can simplify 27 over 9. Well, they both share a 9 in common, and so 9 divided into 27, we're just going to get positive 3 up top. Next, we have x to the fifth over x. Having an x there, it means it's x to the first, so we do 5 minus 1. That becomes x to the fourth in our numerator. And then last but not least, y to the fourth times y to the second in the bottom becomes y to the sixth because we add the exponents when we multiply like bases. So we get 3x to the fourth all over y to the sixth. So now, next up, we have number 3. And we have negative 2x to the fourth all over x, y to the second, all to the fourth power. So with this, the first thing I always suggest doing is simplify everything inside your parentheses. So if we were to simplify this, I have an x to the fourth over x to the first. I'm going to end up with negative 2x to the third all over y squared, all to the fourth power. Now, I'm taking the 4 and I'm multiplying it with every exponent inside the parentheses. So every exponent inside the parentheses is getting multiplied to the power of 4. So this negative 2 is raised to the first power. So that becomes negative 2 to the fourth power times x to the 3 times 4 power all over y to the 2 times 4 power. So now I am getting, well, negative 2 to the fourth. That is negative 2 times itself 4 times. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. Same thing over there. 4 times 4 is 16. So I'm getting 16 times x to the 12th all over y to the 8th. So 16x to the 12th all over y to the 8th is my final answer there. So here we have a to the negative 6th, b to the 4th all over a squared, b to the negative 2nd, c to the negative 3rd, all to the 2nd power. So with this, what we're doing is, first, I suggest simplifying everything inside your parentheses. So that means we're going to get a to the negative 6th is going to get moved to the bottom. So we're going to have a to the 6th times a squared with b to the 4th up top, b to the negative 2nd, c to the negative 3rd. Since those are both negatives in your denominator, they're going to get moved up top. So it's b squared times c to the 3rd now. All the exponents become positive. Now that we're here, we combine like terms or combine like exponents. So b to the 4th times b to the 2nd becomes b to the 6th times c to the 3rd. And then on the bottom there, that becomes a to the 8th. And it's all still to the 2nd power. Now that we're here, all we do is multiply each exponent by 2. So we now have b to the 12th, c to the 6th, and a to the 16th for your final answer. Another way you could have done it is just by simply multiplying everything by a power of 2 first. So that means you would have gotten a to the negative 6th times 2, a to the negative 12th, we get b to the 8th, a to the 2nd times 2 becomes a to the 4th, b to the negative 4th, and then c to the negative 6th. Now here, we get rid of our negative exponents. So we get a to the 12th, a to the 4th, b to the 8th, b to the 4th, c to the 6th, and then combine like exponents to get b to the 12th, c to the 6th, all over a to the 16th, just like we got there.